Welcome everybody to Sketch and Tell, where I sketch and I tell you guys what's going on inside my crazy big forehead. Let's get into it. Now I'm a little sick, so apologies if I sound, a little nasally and dull, But I want to talk a little bit about what's going on right now. We are now in the year 2025. It feels like, dang, that sounds crazy. That sounds like the intro to like a sci-fi book. The year 2025. That is insane. Oh my goodness. Crazy how fast life goes, if you really think about it. But because of this new year, I've thought a lot about everything. Everyone's setting their goals, and let's cut the crap. All right. I mean, a lot of you guys probably have already forgotten about the goals you've set. You've already forgotten the ideas, the plans, the future, the dreams. And it's all dissolved and fizzled into one thing, and that is just you caring too much about you. More on that later. I don't know if that made sense, but it probably didn't. But let me just get into this and just listen. Bear with me. Be a little patient with me, because I'm a little, I'm like one fry short of a Happy Meal when I talk in front of the camera. But regardless, I was thinking a lot about the past, all right? And some people call that depression. You think about the past, it's called depression, right? But it's a little bit different, guys. Come on, cut me some slack, all right? It's a little different. I was thinking about my partying days back in, I don't remember when that phase of my life was, but I was thinking back on my party days and how I lived so much for me. I had the car of my dream. I had the friends of my life. They were awesome. I got in with this friend group, and they were rappelling off of parking garages at college campuses, and they were doing crazy stuff. And we're going to these big old parties, as in Utah, you call them tribe parties. A few thousand people, and you can't even move. And you get punched in the face a couple times, and you always leave with a black eye and just a bruised, broken nose. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's gritty, it's dirty, but it was a good time back in the day in my youth. As in just a couple years ago. And to me at the time, I was like, dang, that was a good life. I was loving life. I was enjoying every single little thing that was happening. But now when I think about it, I'm like, it's kind of cringe. And I show my wife videos of me in that phase of my life, and she's like, yo, you're low-key a little stupid. You're a little dumb. She doesn't say that. Obviously, she's sweet. She's downright near perfect. I mean, she's an angel, all right? Let me just brag about her just for that split second. But anyways, let me get back into it. Regardless, I love that time of my life at the time. And I have all these cool memories. I have all these cool Snapchat stories and in my memories and all these different things and all these fun pictures and videos. And I'm like, dang, we were just living it up. But I was so focused on me that I think I lost myself in the process. There was a time shortly before that where I was what you would call smelling the roses. I was enjoying every single little thing. Every single little thing. Down to the sunset, just pulling up in some random parking lot at, right before sunset and just chilling, just watching it, watching the sky. And it's bright blazing orange, and you can see the cityscape and the whole horizon. You can see all the way out to the Salt Lake. And I would appreciate those things, those little times. And I'd think about God, and I would pray, and I would ponder about my future and the many wonderful things. But as life goes, you quickly get distracted. You start living, like I said, for yourself. And what I found is every time in my life I was living for myself, there was no progression. And I was so focused on me and making myself, my appearance, stand out above everyone else. So focused on the pride of man, that not only did I lose myself, but the second something hard came, my whole entire life seemed to crash and crumble and fall. Fast forward, here I am today. I just got married not too long ago. And Me and my wife are having the time of our life. We just finished a honeymoon. And amongst that time, I think in preparation for you to become a man, because honestly, becoming a man doesn't happen when you hit the age or like hit the age of 18 or when you hit puberty. That's not it. The time you become a man is when you get married, when you have someone you have to take care of, and you can no longer afford to think about you anymore, right? And that sounds harsh. It sounds really rough, but that's what it is to be a man. Being a man is the most selfless job. I'm like so thankful for my dad. I'm so thankful for my brothers and all these male figures who honestly never got appreciation for the things that they did. They never got thanks for the little things. In fact, I always cried for my mom before I ever cried for my dad, and my dad was just as capable, Fathers just are, it's a thankless job. And when you become a father, when you become a husband, something has to change. And I think God really starts to work in your life, and you start to see things happen that you never expected. And you start to pray a little differently, and you start to think a little differently. You start to do everything differently. My dog just choked right there. And now it's like no longer, okay, what's the next mod for my car? It's more like, how can I make sure I can afford, to pay rent, pay for food, and also to make sure my wife can, get her hair done or get her lashes, right? Make sure that she's happy. And you start thinking a little bit less and less about yourself. And every once in a while, the concept of self does come back in, and it destroys your life, as always. So it's the most difficult thing to avoid. The most difficult addiction to kick is the concept of self. But as I started to pray in this change in my life, things started to change. Got back from my honeymoon, sound system was stolen. I keep talking about this story, but my sound system was stolen that I had worked for months to afford. Shortly after, I was praying again, asking God, what can I do to be able to provide for my family, to start my family? How can I be able to afford to live via using YouTube as my main method of growth? And, kick in the face, immediately after I say amen, I hear this clicking in my engine bay and the whole entire car crashes, I have a million problems to fix and I can't afford it. Why? Yeah, I do have that money to afford it. But the issue is, I also have to be able to afford providing for my wife. And I haven't had my car running for a month. It's been a long time, and it's a car that I cherished so much back in the day. I worked so hard for it. I did 6 months of sales, and pretty much that whole car was earned straight up from the sweat of my brow. And now it's that doesn't matter to me anymore. It's it'd be nice to have it, but it's it really doesn't matter. Did it ever bring me joy? No. The point is, as you're setting your goals, the reason why we fail is because there's two things. We focus too much on ourselves and we lack contrast. In painting, you have the black, you have the white right next to each other. That's contrast. It's the separation from dark from light. It's the separation from all sorts of different things. From the storm to the spring clear skies, right? It's that kind of contrast. And a lot of times we set these goals, this is what I want to be. This is who I want to be in the future. This is who I want to become. This is how I want my life to look. But then we always forget about the contrast. What will happen if I don't do anything? What will happen if life doesn't change? Will my life be the same, or will it be worse? If I don't kick this addiction to alcohol or to smoking, will my life be worse? Where will I be in a year if I don't quit these small habits? And believe me, those small habits make the biggest difference, right? And I know that from experience because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. So I think those are the two things you need to consider. And maybe reconsider. Look at your goals and actually decide, okay, are these realistic? Do I have contrast? And is this too self-focused? And yeah, it's well, how do you not make goals and make them about yourself? How do you not make goals that are not self-focused? Well, it's well, think about this. Do you think God really would give you $10,000 if you use those $10,000 to buy a stupid car? Do you think God, yeah, I mean, yeah, you might have that, right? But what does it matter if you've never done anything good, if you don't have anything to bless the lives of others or to provide for your family, right? If your goal is that selfish, do you really think God will give it to you? And yeah, I've got my selfish goals. You can see I've got my vision board. I did my little series on that. And I've got some selfish goals. Like I do have my dream car. And you have those things as like an idea of what you want, right? But ultimately, like the biggest goal to me on there is ultimately that I can just afford to provide for my family. If I can't afford to provide for my family, none of that matters. None of that matters at all. I don't need a cool car if I can't provide for my family. It's like, who are you really letting down more? Are you letting down your family or are you letting down yourself as a man who has a responsibility to do great things and to achieve and to be the selfless man? Anyways, my thoughts are all over the place. Always, like I said, when I'm right in front of the camera, I'm like always one fry short of a Happy Meal. Don't know what it is, but it just happens. But what I said truly did come from the heart. These are all true experiences, real things, and I think if you read the scriptures, you'll find that everything I say backs up God's doctrine before it ever backs up any other guy's doctrine. Is that if we're too focused on ourselves, life just sucks. And if we lack the contrast, if we don't understand what our life's going to look like in a year, if we do nothing, then life never changes. If we don't understand those things, we never actually have anything to run from. We always stay in the same place. My name is Gabe the Painter. I love to paint, I love to draw, and I love to just talk to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching this video. Please like, comment, share this video if you found any value from it, and make sure to go check those goals. I want you to make some summit reaching. I want you to reach the summit this year. All right, that's coming from me, from the bottom of my heart. I want you to reach the summit this year. And I'll see you in the next video.